Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. How much time are you dedicating each week to your personal growth? How much of your precious hours are spent listening, learning, and expanding your mind to reach the next level of success? Imagine if you invested just 7 hours a week into yourself. 7 hours that could transform your life, rewire your mindset, and push you towards greatness. Now, don't just hear me. I want you to feel this. What I'm talking about today can completely change the trajectory of your life if you allow it to. The power of consistent learning and self-reflection is often underestimated. But when you commit to daily growth, you will see results that others will only dream of. So let's break this down. 7 hours of study and motivational speeches, growth strategies, and life-changing insights that will fuel your journey toward becoming your best self. And I'll tell you, those 7 hours can make all the difference. Let's dive into this. Let me tell you something, the most powerful investment you can make in life is the investment in your own mind. We often hear that education is the key to success, but it's not just the education we receive in schools, colleges, or universities that will determine our future. It's the learning that never stops, the learning we choose to pursue every single day, long after formal education has ended. It's about continuous growth, about picking up new skills, new insights, and new perspectives. And that, my friends, is the foundation of personal development. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, but I've already gone through school. I've got my degree. I've got my qualifications. What more do I need? Let me tell you this, the world doesn't stop evolving the moment you graduate. In fact, the moment you stop learning, you start falling behind. If you're not actively pursuing knowledge, you're letting your potential wither away. Just like a garden that goes untended, your mind will start to become overrun with weeds, lost potential, and wasted opportunities. It's simple. If you're not feeding your mind daily, it starts to atrophy. Your mind needs constant nourishment to grow, to flourish, and to keep up with the changing world around you. Think about this. Every day you have an opportunity to grow. You can choose to either stay the same, or you can choose to invest in your mind and shape your future. This doesn't mean you have to sit in a classroom or enroll in formal courses. There's an abundance of information available to you: books, podcasts, audiobooks, speeches, articles. Knowledge is everywhere. It's at your fingertips. But how much time are you truly dedicating to learning and self-improvement? How much time are you spending on things that add little value to your life? Here's an interesting fact. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men on the planet, spends around 80% of his day reading and learning. Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear a man who is worth billions say that his secret to success is the continuous process of learning, I pay attention. Think about the level of wisdom, insight, and experience he's accumulated over decades of reading. And you know what? He's still learning. He doesn't stop. Why? Because he knows that the moment you stop learning, you stop growing. And when you stop growing, you stop succeeding. But here's the good news: you don't need to spend hours and hours every day. You don't have to read for 12 hours straight to reap the benefits. If you commit just 7 hours a week, just an hour a day, you can create a powerful habit of growth that will change the trajectory of your life. 7 hours, that's all. That's about the time you spend scrolling through social media or watching TV. But instead, you can invest that time into learning something new. Whether it's about business, leadership, health, relationships, or self-discipline, there is so much valuable knowledge to absorb. And over time, it adds up, it compounds. You begin to see the difference it makes in your mindset, your decisions, and your actions. I know some of you might be thinking, but I'm busy. I don't have time. Let me ask you this. Do you have time to waste on searches that won't serve you? Do you have time to let your potential slip away just because you're too busy to invest in yourself? What's more important than your own growth? Your future, your dreams, 7 hours a week is a small price to pay for personal transformation. Think about it this way. Each hour you dedicate to learning is an hour you're investing in a better future. It's an hour that shapes your mind, sharpens your skills, and opens doors that were once closed. 7 hours of focused, intentional learning every week will separate you from the pack. It will set you apart in ways you can't even imagine right now. If you're serious about living a life of purpose, about achieving success on your terms, then you must commit to learning. Every great achievement in life started with a willingness to grow, to learn, and to adapt. And the sooner you start, the sooner you'll begin to reap the rewards. So ask yourself, are you going to wait for opportunities to come knocking, or are you going to create them through the power of learning? The choice is yours. You have the power to transform your life 1 hour at a time. The key is simple. Keep learning, keep growing, and never stop until you become the best version of yourself. Here's a truth that's often overlooked. You become like the 5 people you spend the most time with. I know you've heard it before, but let it really sink in. The people you surround yourself with have an immense impact on your life, your success, your attitude, and even your future. If you're surrounded by people who are negative, limiting, or complacent, it's going to be tough to break free from that. It's like being stuck in quicksand. You can try to escape, but the pull of those around you keeps dragging you back down. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. I can't always control who I spend time with. I can't pick my family, my coworkers, or my neighbors. And you're right. Sometimes we can't physically surround ourselves with the exact people who are going to push us to be better. But here's the good news. You have access to a wealth of wisdom, inspiration, and knowledge, all at the touch of a button. You don't have to rely on the physical people in your life to shape your mindset. You can choose who you expose yourself to through books, podcasts, audio programs, and motivational speeches. Think about it. You're driving to work, sitting in traffic, or maybe you're on your lunch break with a few minutes to spare. What are you doing with that time? Are you letting it slip away into mindless scrolling, or worse, complaining and worrying about the day ahead? Or are you using that time to expose yourself to voices that inspire and challenge you? It's easy to forget, but those small moments add up. 7 hours a week, that's just 1 hour a day, can make a world of difference if you're intentional about using that time for growth. Let me ask you this. When you look at your circle, when you think about the people you interact with the most, what energy do they bring into your life? Are they constantly filling your mind with negativity, doubts, and fear? Or do they push you to be better, to dream bigger, and to reach higher? Remember, the energy you expose yourself to will shape your energy, and your energy will shape your actions. You can't expect to soar like an eagle if you're surrounded by turkeys. Think about this. There's a reason why successful people always talk about the importance of surrounding themselves with the right people. It's not just about avoiding negativity. It's about immersing yourself in the right mindset. It's about exposing yourself to the ideas, the habits, and the philosophies of people who have already walked the path that you want to walk. And today, more than ever, you can do this without ever leaving your home. You know, the beauty of technology is that it's made it easier than ever to surround yourself with greatness. In the past, if you wanted to learn from the great minds of our time, you'd have to attend seminars, travel across the world, or read dozens of books. Today, you can do all of that and more with just a few clicks. You can listen to someone who's been where you are, someone who's struggled and succeeded, someone who can teach you the lessons you need to learn. The wisdom of people who are ahead of you is just a podcast, an audiobook, or a YouTube video away. Imagine spending just 1 hour a day listening to someone who challenges your thinking, someone who speaks directly to your potential and encourages you to push through the obstacles that are holding you back. Imagine filling your mind with the wisdom of someone who has already overcome what you're facing right now. Over time, that input will begin to shape the way you think, the way you act, and the way you approach challenges. We often forget that time is our most valuable asset. 7 hours a week, just 7 hours, can completely change the way you see the world, the way you see yourself, and the way you approach every single day. That's an hour a day spent growing, learning, and becoming the best version of yourself. That's an hour a day spent surrounding yourself with the inspiration and wisdom of those who have already achieved what you want to achieve. So, my friends, make the decision today to start surrounding yourself with inspiration. Start listening to the voices that elevate you. Start filling your mind with ideas that challenge your limits and push you to reach for the highest version of yourself. The beauty of today's world is that you can take in all the wisdom you need anytime, anywhere. And it's not just about listening, it's about applying what you learn. Use that wisdom to fuel your actions and make decisions that will lead you closer to your goals. You have the power to choose who you listen to, what you expose yourself to, and what energy you bring into your life. Choose wisely, because who you surround yourself with will determine how far you go. Let me tell you something that's often overlooked when people talk about success. It's not about making huge, bold moves all at once. It's about the little things, the small actions done consistently that create massive impact. Too often, people think they have to make giant leaps to see results. They get frustrated when things don't happen overnight, and they start doubting their progress. But that's not how success works. Success is built day by day, inch by inch. It's not the big things that change your life. It's the small habits you do every single day that add up over time. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. Look at the small daily habits you've built over the years. The ones that you don't even think about anymore, the ones that just happen because they become part of your routine. Now imagine if you shifted those habits in the right direction. Imagine committing to just one small action every day that could move you closer to your dreams. Over time, that one small action could become a force that propels you forward in ways you can't even begin to predict right now. You don't have to have everything figured out from the start. You don't need to know the entire path in order to start walking it. What you need is the willingness to commit to the process, to show up every single day, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it. Consistency is the key to success. It's the glue that holds everything together. Let's put this into perspective. If you decide to a motivational speech or a personal development audio for just 30 minutes every morning, that's only 3.5 hours a week. That's less than a movie. Just 30 minutes a day. And in just a week, you've invested time into yourself, into your growth, into your future. Think about it. If you cut back on distractions, less time on social media, fewer hours watching TV, you could easily find those 3.5 hours. You could easily make time for yourself, for your growth. What you're doing is investing in your mindset, in your future, in your success. Now, the key to this is consistency. It's not just about doing something once and expecting results. It's about showing up every day, rain or shine, and putting in the work. When you don't see results after one workout, do you? If you did, we'd all have six-pack abs and bulging muscles after a week. But that's not how it works. It's the same with anything in life. It's about showing up every day, making that commitment to yourself, and pushing through the days when it feels hard. This is where the magic happens. Consistency compounds. It builds upon itself. When you start showing up every day, you start to change your habits, your outlook on life. The more you listen to positive messages, the more you start to see the world differently. Your mind begins to shift, and you begin to attract different opportunities, different people, and different circumstances into your life. But it doesn't happen overnight. It happens over time, day by day, hour by hour. 7 hours a week, consistently invested in your growth, will gradually reshape your mental landscape. And as your mind shifts, so will your actions. And as your actions change, so will your results. Think about the compound effect. You may not see the change right away, but trust me, it's happening. Small daily habits done consistently will have a ripple effect that will take you places you've never imagined. The key is to keep showing up, no matter what. Don't get discouraged because the progress feels slow. Remember, the difference between where you are now and where you want to be is often just a matter of consistency. So I challenge you today, commit to those small daily habits. Make a promise to yourself that you'll show up every single day, even if it's just for 30 minutes, even if it's just one small step. Because those small steps add up. And before you know it, you'll be further along than you ever thought possible. The results may not be immediate, but trust me, if you keep showing up, they will come. And they will be bigger than anything you ever imagined. Let me tell you something that separates the truly successful from the rest of the crowd. It's not just about the challenges they face. Every single person, no matter how successful, faces challenges. The difference lies in how they respond to those challenges. It's their ability to maintain a positive, empowering mindset in the face of adversity that sets them apart. You see, it's not about avoiding the problems that life throws at you. It's about how you handle them when they come your way. And that, my friends, is the power of positive thinking. Think about it for a moment. You're going along in life, things are moving smoothly, and then, out of nowhere, you hit a roadblock. Maybe it's a financial setback, maybe a personal failure, maybe something unexpected happens that shakes you to your core. The average person might focus on the problem, might complain, might get discouraged and overwhelmed. They might dwell on the circumstances and feel sorry for themselves, believing that this setback is the end of their story. But someone with a positive mindset, they don't see failure the same way. They see challenges as part of the process. They know that every setback is a stepping stone. Every problem is an opportunity to learn, grow, and get closer to their goals. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine that you're faced with a major setback in your life, something that feels like a huge roadblock. You could easily spiral into negativity, right? You could start thinking that the universe is against you or that you're just unlucky. But what if instead of focusing on the problem, you chose to focus on the lesson? What if you asked yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this to grow? How can I turn this obstacle into an advantage? That's what successful people do. They don't let their circumstances dictate their mindset. They dictate their mindset, and in doing so, they create their reality. This is where the power of positive thinking truly comes in. Positive thinking isn't about pretending that everything is perfect. It's about choosing to see the possibilities even in the face of difficulty. It's about maintaining an attitude of hope, of optimism, and of clarity, no matter what comes your way. It's about knowing that setbacks are temporary and that with the right mindset, you can always turn things around. Now, let me tell you something that can make all the difference in your life. If you commit to just 7 hours a week, just 7 hours to immersing yourself in motivational speeches, positive teachings, and uplifting messages, you will begin to rewire your brain. You will begin to think differently, to look at challenges as opportunities, and to see the world in a way that empowers you rather than discourages you. Just 7 hours a week, less than an hour a day, can shift your mental landscape, can help you build the mindset of someone who is unstoppable. Think of your mind as a garden. What you plant in it is what grows. If you plant seeds of negativity, doubt, and fear, that's what will grow in your life. But if you plant seeds of positivity, resilience, and belief, that's what will blossom. The people you surround yourself with, the content you consume, the thoughts you entertain, these are the seeds you're planting in your mind. And over time, they will shape your reality. This is not just about thinking positive. It's about training your mind to see the best in every situation, to rise above the difficulties, and to keep moving forward with faith and purpose. You might be facing hard times right now, but remember, everything starts in the mind. If you change your thoughts, you change your actions. And when you change your actions, you change your results. So ask yourself, what am I feeding my mind? Am I filling it with negativity, or am I choosing to fill it with positivity and empowerment? Am I letting my circumstances define me, or am I choosing to rise above them and create my own reality? The choice is yours. What you listen to, what you expose yourself to, it all shapes your mental state. And your mental state shapes your life. You have the power to shape your reality. and it begins with the thoughts you allow into your mind. So make the choice today to surround yourself with positivity. Choose to see every setback as an opportunity to grow. Choose to believe in your ability to overcome anything life throws your way. Your mindset will determine your success. And the more you work on it, the more your life will begin to reflect the success, joy, and fulfillment you deserve. Let me ask you something. What good is all this learning if you don't take action? Knowledge by itself is nothing. It's like a car without an engine. It might have all the potential, but if you don't put the key in the ignition and drive, it's just sitting there doing nothing. You can listen to all the motivational speeches, read all the books, and attend all the seminars in the world. But if you don't take what you've learned and put it into practice, then you're not moving forward. You're just collecting information for the sake of collecting information. And that, my friends, is futile. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you learned something new, felt inspired, maybe even taken a few notes, but then nothing? No action, no follow through. Maybe you get excited for a few hours or even a few days, but that excitement fades and you go right back to your old habits. But here's the truth. Nothing will change in your life until you take action. The knowledge doesn't work unless you work it. Action is what turns knowledge into results. Look at someone like Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players to ever live. Do you think his success came from just listening to coaches and reading about the game? No, it didn't. He didn't just study the game and hope it would work out. He practiced. He worked on his skills every single day. He didn't sit on the sidelines waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect opportunity. He took action. He didn't just know what to do. He executed it. Every practice, every game, every moment on the court was a chance for him to apply what he had learned, to refine his skills, and to push himself to become better. Now, you might say, but I'm not Michael Jordan. And I understand that. You may not be a world-class athlete, but that's not the point. The point is that success in any field requires the same commitment to action. You don't have to be the best from day one, but you do need to be consistent. You need to take what you're learning, no matter how small or insignificant it might seem, and apply it. Every action, every step forward, gets you closer to your goal. Imagine you're committing to just 7 hours a week minus 7 hours of listening to motivational speeches, of learning, of growing. That's a small investment, really. But the question is, what are you going to do with that knowledge? If you take just 1 or 2 ideas from what you learn each week and apply them to your life, your business or your career, imagine where you'll be in 6 months or a year. You'll be in a completely different place than you are now, because you're not just learning for the sake of learning. You're learning to act. You're learning to grow. Action doesn't always have to be perfect. In fact, action will rarely be perfect. You'll make mistakes, you'll encounter setbacks, and you'll stumble along the way. But that's how growth happens. It's through the mistakes, the trials, and the errors that you learn that you grow stronger, that you adjust your course. The key is to never stop taking action. Because the more you act, the more you refine, the more you learn, and the closer you get to the success you're striving for. So, as you commit to your 7 hours a week of personal development, remember this: the knowledge you gain is only valuable if you act on it. Don't let it just sit there in your mind collecting dust. Put it to work. Implement what you learn, experiment with it, adjust, and keep pushing forward. Don't wait for the perfect moment to take action, because it doesn't exist. The perfect moment is now. Every moment is a chance to put what you've learned into practice. Every moment is a chance to get 1 step closer to your goals. When you combine knowledge with action, you become unstoppable. The more you learn and apply, the more you grow. And the more you grow, the closer you get to achieving your dreams. It's a powerful combination: learning and doing, thinking and acting. The key is to never stop moving forward, never stop taking action, and never stop applying what you know. Because in the end, it's not the knowledge that changes your life, it's the action you take with that knowledge. As we come to the close of this conversation, I want you to pause for a moment and reflect on the significance of those 7 hours a week. Think about the power they hold. Will you truly take them seriously? Will you make the decision to invest in yourself and your growth, no matter how chaotic life may get? Because let me tell you, this is a decision that will determine the course of your life. The difference between where you are now and where you want to be often comes down to consistent, intentional growth. And the good news is it's within your reach. All it takes is 7 hours a week. That's right, 7 hours. That's just 1 hour a day. And when you commit to investing those 7 hours into your personal growth, you begin to shift your mindset. You start to reshape the way you think, the way you approach challenges, and the way you see opportunities. And with that shift, everything else begins to change. Your habits, your actions, your perspective on life, they all begin to align with the success you're striving for. It's easy to think that growth has to be a massive, overnight transformation. But real, lasting growth doesn't happen that way. It happens in small, consistent steps. It happens when you commit to those 7 hours and use them wisely. You don't need to make huge leaps in one day. What you need to do is show up consistently. Little by little, you'll notice the changes. Your mindset will become sharper. Your thinking will become clearer. And your life will start to shift in ways you never thought possible. 7 hours a week might seem like a small amount of time, but over the course of a year, that's 364 hours, more than 9 full weeks. Imagine what you can accomplish in that amount of time if you dedicate it to your growth. Imagine how your life will look a year from now if you make that small investment each and every week. In that time, you'll have reshaped your habits, redefined your goals, and unlocked new levels of success that seemed out of reach before. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment or for everything to fall into place. It's about making the decision now, the decision to take control of your future, the decision to commit to those 7 hours no matter how busy life gets. Because here's the thing, life is always going to be busy. There will always be distractions, challenges, and setbacks. But what separates the people who succeed from those who don't is their ability to make time for their growth, no matter the circumstances. 7 hours a week, that's all it takes. That's your investment in yourself, it's your investment in your future, and the return on that investment is nothing short of extraordinary. Every minute you spend learning, growing, and challenging yourself will pay dividends in ways you can't even imagine right now. So ask yourself, will you commit? Will you take action today and make those 7 hours count? Your future self will thank you for the decisions you make now. This is your time. This is your moment. The decision is yours and the path forward is waiting. So step up, invest in your growth, and watch your life transform in ways you never thought possible.